Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The 10th chapter, in a way, gave us darshan of Ishvara very nicely. And in this darshan, what we saw was aneka rupa, various things. Otherwise, we'll think we are in a karaoke setting. Various things. Can you hear me in the back? You are able to hear? Yeah. So, various things in the universe that we assume to be just discrete and separate are shown to be what? Nothing but Ishvara. Ishvara's glory means non-separate from Ishvara, because the glory is what? Maya Shakti, that is Bhagavan. Okay? And so, as we, and also we saw the phala of knowing this Ishvara through the glories. One is what? The alienation, the distance between oneself and Ishvara is bridged. When the Jagat is seen as Ishvara, the distance between Ishvara and Jiva is bridged, because the Jagat is what? Is what distracts, is what makes one very upset, has the capacity to distract from knowing Bhagavan. And so here, when we Ishvarize the Jagat, the alienation of the Jiva decreases. So the first advantage of the 10th chapter, meaning understanding Ishvara's glories as non-separate from the Jagat. So Jagat and Ishvara have become one. Now all that is left is miserable Jiva, and that is what has to be resolved. That's why we have 8 more chapters to go. So then the second advantage of studying this chapter is to become firm in Aneka Rupa Bhakti. Aneka Rupa Bhakti, how to become firm in that? To be able to see each and everything as Bhagavan's glory. That becomes very, very easy then. And the third thing, all this we saw in the 10th chapter. The third advantage of understanding Bhagavan's glory is what? Overcoming jealousy, envy towards somebody else, even anger, even disappointment, dejection, pain, sorrow, hurt. You say, oh, this is Ishvara's, their anger is also not outside of the psychological order, which is what? Glory of Ishvara. Directly you don't say anger is glory of Ishvara. What do you say? It is part of the psychological order of the universe, which is what? Non-separate from the glory of Ishvara. This is what we have to understand. So therefore now we have the the 10th chapter. It is all said and done, and then still there is a longing in Arjuna's heart, a sattvic longing. Why? Because he could have been longing for what is that Pujya Swamiji used to always say, Faluda, but instead of that he is longing for Bhagavad Darshana. He's had the whole cosmos as Bhagavan. Cosmos has appeared to him. Now he cannot look at the cosmos as anything else but Bhagavan. Still I want Bhagavan to give a darshan. This is called spiritual romanticism. Because that in every bhakta, that desire lurks in the heart. Sometimes we pray also, and some for the darshan. Sometimes people dream also. Bhagavan has given darshan. In the dream. Wonderful, many arms, many things. And there I was standing before him. her. Why? Because first day of Navaratri. So there I was standing before the 20-armed goddess Durga. There she was in all her splendor. And I am saying Jai Mata Di, and everything is wonderful. Alas, it was just a dream. So like this, there is a longing. And that longing too, it is not just idle curiosity. It is wanting to be noticed by Ishvara. It is wanting to matter. It is wanting to be reckoned. Perhaps the last frontier of duality. Somehow this lingering desire is left. And Arjuna must not be faulted for having this desire which lurks in almost every heart of every bhakta. So Arjuna is a upalakshana for a sadhaka, for any serious sadhaka. So in his heart too, the desire for all these forms. Yes, because now I see the mountain, it's your glory, it is nothing but your glory, it is nothing but Ishvara. Then I see the river, it is nothing but your glory, it is nothing but you, Ishvara. Then I see something else, it is nothing but your glory, it is nothing but you, which is Ishvara. You can go like this. But then if I am seeing the mountain, I can't see the river. If I am seeing the river and the mountain, then I don't see the desert. If I am seeing the river and the mountain, then the desert, I don't see the snow. If I am seeing summer, I don't see monsoon. If I am seeing monsoon, I don't see winter. So there is the feeling that the heart is still lacking. I want to see everything all at once. So this cosmos is your glory. But then you must be having a form that includes all the forms. And so, therefore, to satisfy this want, Arjuna asks for Vishwarupa Darshana. Vishwarupa means the cosmic form. And here I wrote these things in a way to make a little bit of sense, because we have been bandying about so many terms for Ishvara. How and where are they and how do they connect? So many Ishvara's words from various standpoints. So at the outset we have Shuddha Chaitanya, often mistranslated as pure consciousness. Consciousness is pure, but here it shouldn't be translated as pure consciousness. Consciousness unconditioned by anything else. Unconditioned consciousness. Condition means upadhitaha. No upadhi along with this consciousness. That is what is called Shuddha Chaitanyam. And this Shuddha Chaitanyam is Ishvara. And what is that? अरे उधर हाँ पढ़ो ना या फोटो लेके बैठ गए सब हाँ so at least read. Show some signs of life. Shuddha Chaitanya, aka what? Swarupa Lakshana. We have seen this. Essential nature. That which is intrinsic, without which Ishvara cannot be. Which is what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Okay. So then we have, what is next? Maya Avachinna Chaitanya. Avachinna means conditioned by. And conditioned, we have to always put what? As though. Eva. Conditioned, eva conditioning. Okay. So condition, whenever we use the word condition, upadhi comes in. So Maya Avachinna Chaitanya or Maya Upadistha Chaitanya. Upadhau Tishtati. So Maya here means what? Shakti, Vidya, Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti Swarupini. That's why these 9 days are for Shakti, a nod to Shakti. So that is what else is it known as? Maya Avachinna Chaitanya is also known as Tatastha Lakshana, which is also known as Jagat Karanam Brahma. Okay. These two forms we are used to. Now we have to introduce, now that we are coming into the heart of the Bhagavad Gita, one more one more iteration. Oh, one more thing I forgot to write. I'll make one of you write it when the time comes. So, I'm pointing to you, he's pointing to me. So, he's confident about your writing. Yeah. Tathastu. So, Maya avachinna chaitanya we know. Tatastha lakshana. Swarupa lakshana we know. In all its forms. Jagat, you know what is that? Satyam jnanam anantam. Jagat karanam brahma. Tatastha lakshana we know. One iteration of Ishvara that can be easily missed is Antahkarana avachinna chaitanya. That form of Bhagavan which is as though conditioned by body, mind, sense complex, especially the mind. Antahkarana avachinna chaitanya. Who is that? Jiva swarupena vartate. It is Jiva who is, we should never know anymore. Since half of the Gita is over, we are going to stop making the difference. It is Jiva is what? Another iteration of Ishvara. And there it is called Antahkarana avachinna rupena vartate yaha saha Ishvaraha. Ajnanena, because of Ajnanam, Jivaha iti uchyate. It is considered to be Jivaha iti manyate. Thinks of himself, herself, or other people think of this iteration of Ishvara as Anishvara, not Ishvara at all. Okay? Then what else is there? Yeah, then we have seen Virat. What else is underneath Virat? Hiranyagarbha and then Ishvara. These three forms we have seen, and that all corresponds to what? Where does the arrow go? Follow it up. Huh? Yeah. So the Virat and Hiranyagarbha correspond to Maya avachinna chaitanya, and then Ishvaraha corresponds to what? Shuddha chaitanya. Is this clear now? Little bit? Yeah. And then from this side, the Antahkarana avachinna chaitanya, Ishvara in the form of Antahkarana avachinna chaitanya, Ishvara that expresses himself, herself in the form of the Antahkarana as though conditioned by the body, mind, sense complex, also has three iterations which are what? Yeah. In other words, if you want to put it in English, Abba, okay. Waker, yes, waker, dreamer, sleeper. Sleeper, don't think train, okay? Yeah. So, waker, dreamer, this thing. Okay, who is writing? Come to the board, please. Bharata, come on. बीच में लिखो अवतारा नीचे हाँ अवतार स्वरूप ईश्वरा in the form of separate avatars along with so many yugas, and we count 10th one we are not sure. After Corona we are not sure if Kalki has come and gone or is yet to come. Yeah, अवतार नीचे उसके नीचे लिखो ईश्वरा अवतार स्वरूप ईश्वरः. And that again from there somehow you take from there you take a line नीचे से हाँ go all the way. No, उधर नहीं, इस तरफ से निकालो. हाँ, माया अवच्छिन्न चैतन्य तक ले जाओ. हाँ, fantastic. Here, yes. Now take another photo since it's updated. So this is Avatara. Avatara means again Jagat Karanam Brahma. Again it has got various things. It is not Shuddha Chaitanya. It has got form. It has got function. So it is Maya Avachinna Chaitanya. Okay. So all this is various iterations of Ishvara. And if you have this, then whether we are studying Upanishad or whether we are studying subsequent chapters of Bhagavad Gita, there will not be any confusion. Now if we imagine, no need to do that and exhaust the pens. So if we imagine, put a big circle on all of this, okay, then put a line and then put a little arrow, and that will lead to Vishwarupa Darshana. All this together would be at the same time. Imagine how confused, how difficult it would be. So Vishwarupa Darshana. So this is Ishvara Darshana, and for the Dvaitins and the Vishishtadvaitins, this is a very celebrated chapter, and this is perhaps the most important chapter. For the Jignasu, the Mumukshu, it is just one more little longing that has just been taken care of. That's all. It is just one more thing on the way to gaining this knowledge, and it has to be understood. How to look at it has to be understood, because without that it is going to be very, very difficult. Otherwise we'll just get lost in the chapter, and all the it is just like glories only, except the glories, we have to say glories because some of them, the L is silent, they are very gory, they are no longer glory. If you remove the L, what happens? Glory becomes gory. Gory means is a direct derivation from the word ghora, through some English sutras that we are not familiar with. So I will give a little overview, not the full chapter because then we'll forget. So I'll give the full chapter overview later on, but just the first up to maybe 14-15 verses I'll give the overview. So of course Arjuna begins with a entreaty. 1 to 8. Verses 1 to 8 is Arjuna's begging for the Vishwarupa, and we'll see a few nuances of how he entreats the Lord so that the Lord cannot refuse at all. Actually 1 to 4. And then 4 to 8 is the Lord agreeing to come to Arjuna's aid and assist in the revelation of his cosmic form. And from 9 to 14, we see the Vishwarupa Darshana from the eyes of Sanjaya. Now we are suddenly reminded there is an audience. Sanjaya where was Sanjaya? We never saw him since chapter 1. And then suddenly Sanjaya has appeared. And then when Sanjaya appears, who else appears? Dhritarashtra, because he is also listening. Vishwarupa Darshana he is also getting, Sanjaya is getting, through him Dhritarashtra is getting, Arjuna is getting, and we are all getting. And so then Sanjaya's description of the Lord, how the Lord looks, is there from 9 to 14. And then we get the same from Arjuna's view of Vishwarupa. We see in the rest of the chapter. But first, Arjuna's view of Vishwarupa when he is having a good time relatively, when he is lost in the wonder, is from 15 to 22. More we'll see as we proceed. Okay. And so, verses 1 to 4, we will not chant Arjuna's questions. And so, what does he say? He says, Mat anugrahaya, because you are so beneficial to me, because you have been so wonderful to me, you have taught me so many things, because of you have blessed me with the greatest secret, Paramam Guhyam Adhyatma Samgitam. This secret of self-knowledge you have blessed me with. Nobody else has done that. Yat tvaya uktam vachaha tena mohaha ayam vigato mama. My delusion has departed as a result of your teaching. We have to add not quite, because you wanted to see the cosmic form and you wanted to separate yourself. Seeing the cosmic form as including yourself is yathartha darshanam. is the sight of Ishvara as yourself. Then there is no fear. But what did Arjuna do? Even though he said cosmic form, including the whole Jagat, he somehow imagined that he was separate. And that separation, of course, causes terrible anxiety. Starts at age 2. It is called separation anxiety. And then does not end till 92, 102. Doesn't matter when. It does not end. And so therefore, Arjuna wants this cosmic form, but somehow manages to separate. So when he says mohaha vigataha maya mama, so that means my moha is gone, means what? My discrimination is still there, and I have viveka, I have this knowledge. I can no longer say I am ignorant. And then what else have you taught me? He just tells all the things he has learned. Bhava and apyaya, the creation and the dissolution, and by extension the sustenance of all beings is by you only, I have heard. And who is this you? The one who has lotus petaled shaped eyes, Kamalapatraksha. And then I have also seen, heard from your very mouth, what? Your own glories, Mahatmyam, Avyayam, endless glories. And then now, just like you've been telling yourself about all these things, I want to see them first hand. You telling me is second hand. Oh, I am the glory, I am this, I am that. But now I want to see apne aap. I want to see it first hand. I want to enjoy this all at once. So can I please ask you to this? And then he is very humble. In the 4th verse he says, Manyase yadi tat chakyam. If you think I am worthy and to see this wonderful form, if you think I am worthy, if it is possible for me, Yogeshwara. Yogeshwara, 2 meanings, Lord of all the yogis, and yoga also we saw in the 10th chapter. What does it mean? Yoga has another meaning. Maya. Yeah. Mayeshwara. Hey Mayin, the one who wields the Maya, who is along with Maya, who remains along with Shakti. And so Yogeshwara, the Ishvara along with Maya, please show me yourself. And the Lord could have said many things. The Lord could have said, shut up, go away. What is this? You're just wasting my time. 10th chapter, did you listen or not? Why you are asking now? But the Lord is nothing but compassionate. And he has a lot of affection for Arjuna, because Arjuna is a real seeker, and Arjuna is free of all kinds of artifice, double-sidedness, and he is just an innocent being. Even his frailties and his foibles we can see. He doesn't try to hide and put a kind of a face. See, everybody has got a public face and a private face. So the public face is for the public. In front of the public, everybody is quiet, calm, and everything. And in private, all the other things happen. Thank God. Okay. But then here, so very rarely we find in Arjuna's persona, we find the two very much similar. If he is upset, even with the Lord. What you see is what you get. And if he is happy. So there is no public persona and private persona. And so the Lord is very pleased with him. And then he says, definitely I will show you. And from verses 5 to 8, we have a preview of what all Arjuna, and by extension, we are going to see. He says, my form, he says, in the 5th verse, he says, my form runs into the hundreds and thousands, and so many celestial forms and so many effulgent forms are there. You will just get lost in all the sizes, shapes, colors, forms. You will not be able to see yourself out of them. And then he says, look, what does my form include? Vasus. How many Vasus are there? 8 Vasus. Rudras. How many are there? 11 Rudras. 2 Ashwins. And then Maruts. There are also some Maruts. 8 Maruts or 7 Maruts. No, Aditya he doesn't include. I'm just listening. 49? No, sir. Maybe 49. Okay. So I'll check and tell again. So main Maruts are also there. And so all these are wondrous forms. Bahuni adrishta purvani. Adrishta means unseen. And then Pashya. Pashya Ashcharyani means they'll surprise you. You will be in a constant state of wonder. And then Ihaikastham. Iha ekastham. Here. Iha means now. Here. Ekastham. In this mamadehe, in this body, which is what? One. Jagat Krishnam Pashya. See the entire world. What kind of world? Sacharacharam, 7th verse. Sacharacharam. And then where should I see it? Mamadehe Gudakesha. O master of sleep, in my body you see this. Yacha anyad drashtum ichhasi. And anyat means in any, if these Maruds and Rudras and Vasus and Ashwins are not enough, you see whatever you want, you see. You just think of it and you will see. This is like a blank check, just signed. See whatever you want. And you fill in whatever you want in this blank check of Vishwarupa. And then he says, this is not possible for you to see, because why? It includes you. And you can't see the truth of yourself. Why? Because you are not an object. With my Yoga Maya, in order to make something into an object which is not an object, what do I have to do? I have to give you Google glasses, 3D glasses. Okay? Meaning I have to give you a certain kind of a vision. I have to change your vision, because what is your vision? Your Pratyaksha Pramana is designed to see only what is in front of you. You don't have eyes at the back of the head. Like Indra's wife, Shachi, she has 1,000 eyes all over her body. So you don't have eyes like that. You can't see the back, you can't see everything. Vishwarupa means you should have Vishwato Mukha Darshanam. You should have all-round vision. Even a housefly can see better than you, Arjuna. You can only see a flat kind of a thing you can see, and you can only see as far as the eyes can go. But here my form is so much, it is like a 4D vision, and you cannot see it with these kinds of sad little eyes, human eyes, which are not meant to see these kinds of celestial visions. So I'll have to give you a new vision. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. Or some kind of a glasses I'll have to give you, because of which you can enjoy within quotes, as we'll see. You can enjoy this wondrous vision. And then of course it's not, while Sanjaya is speaking, he gives him the divine vision, and then Sanjaya pops up and pipes in. Eva muktva, 9th verse. Eva muktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. So he started to darshayamasa, means he showed to Arjuna. What did he show? Parthaya to Arjuna, paramam rupam aishwaram. All inclusive means what? Does it include Arjuna or not? Yes, but he did not include himself. So all inclusive, wondrous form, full of Maya, magical forms, which were not separate from himself. That is what he showed. And then we'll chant verses 10 and 11. Aneka vaktra nayanam, aneka adbhuta darshanam, aneka divyabharanam, divyanekodyatayudham, दिव्यमालाम्बरधरम् सर्वाश्चर्यमयं देवम् अनन्तं विश्वतोमुखम्. So, what did he see? He saw Bhagavan. Sanjaya saw Bhagavan first. And then, so this is the, what he saw? Aneka Vaktra, many faces, many eyes, many wondrous forms. Aneka Divyabharanam, so many wondrous ornaments. Divyaneko Yata Yudham, Ayudham, many wondrous, what are they called? Weaponry, holding divine weapons, celestial weapons, having celestial malas made of celestial flowers, having celestial garments, and having celestial chandanam, being completely, what is that, anointed with celestial sandalwood. And then, as a result, what? Anantam Vishwatomukham Devam, this effulgent form without an end and all pervasive, including everything, which was Sarvashcharyamayam, which was of endless wonder. It was just all wonder from beginning to end, and unfortunately it had no beginning, no end. So we can't even say from the beginning to end it was wondrous. It was just wondrous. Further, so then in the next, this was just a taste, the description continues. So then he says, how would it be? How was the effulgence? Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapat Utthita. If supposing Divi, in the sky, in the space, in the sky, there was Sahasra Surya, 1,000 suns, Yugapat Utthita. At the same time, they arose, let us say. Yadi, suppose. That bha, sa bha, sadrishi sasyat. So that effulgence was like 1,000 suns. Equal to the effulgence of the 1,000 suns was the presence of the great Lord. Bhasastasya mahatmanaha, of this wondrous Lord. Then tatra ekastham jagat kritsnam pravibhaktam anekadha. There in this one single indivisible body of the Lord was the whole universe divided into so many forms, shapes, colors. Every form was there. And then apashyad devadevasya sharire pandavaha tada. And then Arjuna saw the world, of course keeping himself separate. And then what happened? He got horripilations. Krishtaroma bhavet. So Krishtaroma means the one who has the hair standing on end, just out of just the vismaya vishtaha, overcome by the sense of awe. He just thought it was awe, awesome. And then pranamya shirasan devam kritanjalihi abhashat. So then he started to talk. Who? Arjuna started to talk. And then how did he talk? With folded hands and with a bent head, bowed head and folded hands, he addressed the Lord. This we will chant. Next few verses we will chant to get a taste of what it is like. So when Arjuna speaks, and almost to the end of the chapter, we have it in Trishtubh meter. Pashyami devanstava devadehe सर्वांस्तथा भूत विशेष संघान ब्रह्माणमीशं कमलासनस्थं ऋषींश्च सर्वान् उरगांश्च दिव्यान् अनेकबाहूदरवक्त्रनेत्रम् पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपम् Vishveshwara Vishwarupa Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptimantam Pashyami Tvam Durnirikshyam Samantat Deeptanalarka Dyutimat Prameyam Tvamaksharam Paramam Veditavyam Tvamasya Vishwasya Parannidhanam Tvamavyaya Shashvata Dharma Gopta Sanatanastvam Purusho Mato Me Anadimadhyantamanantaviryam Anantabahum Shashi Suryanetram Pashyami Tvam Deeptahutashavakram Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam Dyava Prithivyoridhamantaram Hi Vyapyam Tvayakena Dishascha Sarvaha Drishtvaadbhutam Rupamugram Tavedam Lokatrayam Pravyathitam Mahatman Amihitva Surasangha Vishanti Kechid Bhitah Pranjalayo Grinanti Swasti Tyuktva Maharshi Siddha Sanghaha Sthuvanti Tvam Stutibhih Pushkalabhihi Rudra, it should be Rudraditya, Ditya, right? Rudraditya Vasavo Ye Cha Sadhyaha Vishveshvino Marutoshchoshmapascha Gandharva Yaksha Sura Siddha Sanghaha Vikshante Tvam Vismitascha Sarve Up till now it's all good news. Okay. Because first when he sees, he is overcome with a sense of wonder. OMG, is this even possible? Can this wonder exist? You know, it's like you are sitting and then watching through the James Webb telescope the movements of the galaxy next door. Next door means several 100,000 light years away. But for us it's next door because it is the closest. Universe-wise, it is still next door. What is the name of that galaxy? Andromeda. And then as you are seeing that and eating your popcorn, you see it coming closer and closer. To what? To you. And then the body jerks. That's what happens when people wear all these 3D glasses and all. You are not seeing what they are doing, but they are having all these funny jerking movements, because it just feels like everything is coming at you. And so this Vishwarupa also, because he chooses and he wants to see it as separate from himself, then what happens? He sees that as totally other than him. And so if it's other than him and it's bigger than him, definitely it must be what? Out to get him. That is the idea. Why should he think it's out to get him? Because he sees the Lord out to get, in his mind, Arjuna sees the Lord out to get all the other people who are not following dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, we saw in the 4th chapter, that I will keep reincarnating age after age, whenever the sadhus need protection and whenever the baddies need to be sent somewhere else and they need to be relieved, they need to get karma phala, so I will be there. And then so here he has already taken this avatara Purusha, he is Purushottama, he is that avatara belonging to the Dwapara Yuga, and then he is performing his duty for which he took an incarnation. And what was the duty? The duty was to siphon off all the Rakshasas. That's going to come later. We are on the brink of that. And so seeing all this, of course, Arjuna gets very frightened. But in the beginning, he first focuses on the form of the Lord. Very, very beautiful description. So again, Aneka Vaktra, back to verse 10 and 11. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam. Many hands, many faces. Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam. Many unique darshan. Aneka Divyabharanam. Divyaneko Dyathayutam. Oh, we saw this. Okay, here. Sorry, 15th verse, yeah. So, Pashyami Devans Tava Deva Dehe. I am seeing all the Devas in your body. And all various Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan, other beings belonging to other realms. Because there are 7 lokas up, 7 lokas down. Who knows what kinds of Vichitra beings may be there in all the lokas. Arjuna sees them all. Imagine seeing the whole universe at once. And Arjuna sees it all and he says, I am seeing all these funny looking beings everywhere. Not only one being, but Sanghan, collection of different kinds of beings. And then I see Brahmaji, Brahmanam, who is what? Ishvara. And how do I know it's Brahmaji? He is sitting on a lotus. Kamalasanastham. He is sitting on a lotus. And then all the rishis are surrounding him. All the rishis are surrounding him, paying homage to whom? Brahmaji. And then I am also seeing various kinds of snakes that are there in the celestial realms. And then Aneka Bahu, many hands I am seeing, many arms. Aneka Udara. Udara means what? Stomachs. So the 6-pack ab I see, and one who has gone to the gym 10 times a day. And then what else am I seeing? Pot-bellied fellow I am seeing. It's all you. It's nothing other than you. One with a sagging belly, that's also you. One with no belly, that is also you. And then everything is you. I am seeing so many arms, so many stomachs, and then so many faces, so many eyes, so many things, everything. Vaktra, faces, eyes. Pashyami, sarvataha means all around me I see. I see them all around. Anantarupam, because of his magical vision, he could see behind, front, everywhere. I see them all around me without even turning my head. And then, na antam, na madhyam, na punastavadim, pashyami Vishveshwara. O Lord of the Vishwa, I see your Vishwarupa, which has no beginning, no end, and no middle. No middle means what? It's only middle, because he can't see in either the beginning or the end. It's like seeing a huge snake, which I saw once. I was on a walk, and then then it was twilight. See, these snake things happen only in the twilight. So then I was on a walk on an island, and then it was just, the snake's color was just exactly like the foliage underneath. There were some leaves and everything, and some reddish leaves were there, brown leaves were there. The snake also got all that thing. And then it was a, what is that called? Python? No, I don't know the name. Starts with a. Anaconda? Yeah, I don't know what it was. So then we stopped, because thankfully it made a little noise. Then we said, okay, the foliage is moving. No, something is moving in the foliage. It was about this thick, good, what is that, big, thick girth. And then saying, and we are looking from a respectful distance, of course. Where is this beginning? No beginning, just the middle. It's keeping on going. Like standing at a railway crossing, except it was a snake crossing. And then no end either. Oh, is it over? It kept on going. It must have been at least, 10-15 feet long. And so like that, Vishwarupa, I'm imagining, must be like that. Only the middle. The middle itself is so much. There is no beginning, no end to these wondrous sights that Arjuna is being privileged to see. And then he finally sees the Lord's face. He's wearing a crown. Kiritinam, I see you as the one wearing a crown. Gadinam, carrying a mace. Chakrinam, a disc. And then the rest of you is what? Tejo Rashim, a heap of light. That's what it is. A bushel of light, an unending bushel of light, which lights up everything all around it. I see that. And thank God you've given me these wondrous vision, because otherwise it could not have been seen by regular eyes. And why? Because it is Durniriksham Samantat. It is impossible to see you from every side. But because of these wondrous glasses, I can see you. And what are you? Deepta Anala Arka Dyutim. Dyutim, light. Deepta, lit. What? Anala, fire, sun. Like a fiery, blazing sun. Like a conflagration of blazing suns you are. Which is what? Aprameya. He concedes that. It is not knowable as an object. I cannot know it as an object. But still he doesn't understand that I have to be part of it. And if part of it means I am included in it. And if I am included in it, what happens? This vision will stop, because I am one with it. He doesn't want the vision to stop. He wants it to continue. Just like sometimes when we dream, we want the dream to continue. It's very pleasant. I'm winning a lottery. Why will I want the dream to end? At least dream money, let me see. That is the feeling. And so therefore, he says, I'm seeing this in all angles. And who are you? I'm understanding you differently now. You are the one to be known. Tvam veditavyam. And you are Brahman, the imperishable one. Aksharam Brahmatvam. And then Tvam asya vishwasya param nidhanam. You are the one who is the cause of the world. You are the cause of the world coming into being. Then we have to also add cause of sustaining and cause of resolving as well. Those two functions we always have to add. And then, this is, and then Shashvata Dharma Gopta. You are the protector of Dharma. How does he know that? That he will tell later on himself, as he is trying to run away from this vision, except there is no place to run. Because wherever he goes, he bumps into one more Vishwarupa, aspect of this Vishwarupa. There is no place to run, because the space also is Bhagavan. What he is running towards is Bhagavan. What he is running away from is also Bhagavan. So then later on he will tell how the Dharma he is protecting. Right now he just appreciates. Tvam Shashvata Dharma Gopta. From Gup, to protect. Gopta, agent noun. Gup plus trich. takes guna, and then it becomes Gopta. And then you are the protector of these laws. And then you are you are the complete being. What? Matome, in my vision. Not opinion here, in my vision. And then what are you? Anadim, Madhya, Anantam. You have no beginning, no middle, no end. And then you have Ananta Viryam. You have endless power. We saw Viryam when we saw the definition of Bhagavan 2 Janmas before. Okay? Yeah. And what was that definition? The definition was Kritsnam Viryam. All the power, the Samarthya to bring the world, to sustain the world and to collapse the world. And then we saw Samagram Yashas, fame, Samagram Vairagyam, all Vairagya, Samagra Shrihi, all prosperity and all abundance, all resources. And then what else was that? Samagram Jnanam, fifth one, and Samagram Aishwaryam, overlordship. This is called Shadaishwaryam, or 6 virtues of what constitutes Bhagavan. So this is Bhagavan. So here the Virya is pointed out because it's a, why is Virya pointed out? Because it's a, Virya means the ability to sustain. We see this universe being sustained by him in the Vishwarupa. Therefore the Virya here is highlighted as the quality of Bhagavatta. So as the quality of Bhagavan. So again he repeats himself, Anantabahum, and then what are your eyes? Shashi and Surya. Shashi and Surya. Sun and moon are your eyes. Okay? And this is there in the Purusha Sukta also. Purusha Sukta is also the cosmic form of the Lord. And so, sun and moon are your very eyes. And then I see that. And then Tvam Deepta Hutasha Vaktram. And here is the little bit fear is coming when we see thoda dar lag raha hai. Little bit afraid he is getting. And so, Pashyamitvam Deepta lit up. Deepta Huta, that Hutasha Vaktram. It's like a mouth which is like a big yajna fire, which is waiting to consume the offerings. What are the offerings? All the bad people are the offerings. And not only that, it has a vacuum. Later on we'll see in the next set of verses, it has a kind of a vacuum-like quality. Siphoning fire. Terrible. So that it just chases all the people who need to deliver themselves into the mouth of the Lord. The mouth is like a huge pit. And the adharmic people are the offerings unto this pit. This endless fire pit. And then fire pit means, I can say I am not going into that fire pit. No. Fire pit has a vacuum-like quality. It's going to suck that person in. The one who is resisting cannot resist at all. And so, Hutasha Vaktra, Vaktram, the face, the mouth has got this quality. And then the blazing fire, which is in the form of this mouth, and Swatejasa, and that which heats up the world, energizes and nourishes the world with your light. I can see it's not the light of the sun which nourishes this world, it is your light which nourishes the world. And then the Dyav and Prithvi, the earth and the heavens, and the space in between, Antariksha, and all the quarters are what? And the spaces, Vyaptam Tvaya, pervaded by you alone, Ekena, by your presence alone, O Lord. And then Drishtvad Bhutam Rupam Ugram Tabedam, seeing this wondrous form which is bordering on fear now. Ugra means fear, Ugra means terrifying. And then Lokatrayam Pravyathitam. Pravyathitam means I see all the people are unsure of themselves, they are afflicted, they look at you and they are frightened. Why? Because they have not been following dharma. So that's why they are frightened. They are frightened of this blazing mouth, they are frightened of this horrible, fate in the form of karma phala that is definitely going to catch them. They try to run, they find that there is no place to run. Elsewhere he is going to say, Lokatrayam pravyathitam, and then he is going to add, Tatha cha aham, me too, include me in this frightened group of people. And so he is already bordering on fear in verse 20, and then the Surasanghaha Vishanti, all the people who have been following dharma, Surasanghaha, hosts of celestials, are merging into you. Vishanti means they are entering into you. They are becoming one with you. And they are not frightened at all. I see that. And then some of them, what happens? Some of them are frightened, and some who are frightened, they stand there and then they pray with folded hands, with joined hands, they pray. And then Swasti ti uktva, swasti, 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 they say, let there be well-being for us, let there be well-being for us, they pray. And all the big rishis and the people who are siddhas and the host of them, stuvanti, they worship you with lots of praises. And then what? Then we have the Rudras, the Adityas, the Vasus and Sadhyas. Sadhyas are also Devas. And then Vishve Devaha. So there are also certain Vishve Devaha and the Ashvinas, the Maruds and the Ushmapas. Ushmapascha, and Ushmapa means fire eaters, but they are also certain kind of Devatas. And then Gandharvas, celestials, Yakshas, and then Sura Siddha Sanghaha, Yaksha, Sura, Yaksha plus Asura. Asuras are also there. Why? Because they are waiting to get their just desserts. They are all waiting for karma phala. So along with that, they are also I am seeing the Asuras along with the Maharshis and along with the Devatas. I am seeing them. And then what else is happening? Then they are host of Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, Siddhas. Sangha means group of all of them. Vikshante tvam. They keep looking at you. How? Vismitaha chaiva sarve. Vismitaha means with a kind of dread. A surprise bordering on dread. They look upon you with surprise bordering on dread. And then after that is lot of dread. Arjuna is half dead because of dread. And then he quickly prays and says, come back to your original form. I miss the flute. I miss the nice tunes coming out of the flute. Play for me. I miss the yellow clothes. I miss the blessing hand. I miss you looking at me nicely. Come back. Wherever you are, come back. And then the Lord doesn't want to torment him anymore. And then he comes back. And then Arjuna, that is the last time he asks for Vishwarupa. That is the only time. We'll see the rest later. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.